I'm not even gonna play around with this. This is Nick Cannon, and I want to tell you right now: do not trust or listen to anything he says. He's a pussy. Okay, he's a big fat pussy. Okay, all right. He's a bum, and he's a clout chaser. Okay, bar none. All right. I want to remind you that this motherfucker during the uprisings, the George Floyd uprisings, after this man was murdered on the national stage, he was murdered with impunity and shit by a psychotic race soldier. Nick thought it would be a good opportunity to take his ass down there for a photo op and make a music video about George Floyd and shit, okay? All right, all well and good, right? Yeah, Nick's riding for his people, right? And then when he said something, when he got involved with this Hebrew Israelite shit and started wearing this fucking stupid ass turban on his head, wearing this costume and shit, because it's not who he is. He didn't make his money with a fucking turban on his goddamn head. I want to remind you, when the certain ethnic group came looking for his ass and shit, that motherfucker bent the knee, kowtowed and broke open the pussy and let them ride or die all up in his shit. And they did it publicly and privately and shit until he shut up and shit. Now they think they're gonna roll this nigga out and shit and try to muddy the waters, okay? Now, if you're a real black person, especially a black man, if you're a straight up black man, do not let this motherfucker have any say in the conversation, okay? Need to run this nigga off Twitter and all this other shit, cause he a patsy, he a clout chaser and shit, and I don't trust him and shit. And I would give him the Chicago style business and shit, you know. Honestly speaking, metaphorically speaking, YouTube, you can't trust guys like this. This is one of the reasons our community keeps going in circles after circles after circles. We got male and female agents and shit down here. You know, they're supposed to, when they hear something progressive going on, they slide in and start running their mouth and shit. At first they're at the corner of the conversation, and then they shift over and shit. Then next thing you know, they're running their mouth. Right? Now we know if you support our brother Kyrie Irving and shit, who's being flogged on the public, in public and shit. He's being flogged on the world stage across the diaspora, across this planet and shit to prove a point. To prove a point and shit. What they're trying to prove is that he's their property, okay? He's their product and shit. And they recalled his ass and shit. And now you got this goofy ass nigga coming out talking and shit. Don't listen to this motherfucker. You know, people reporting on this shit talking about Nick Cannon is riding and dying for Kyrie Irving and shit are irresponsible, okay? Go look at your fucking history and shit. When the small hats came for Nick bent over. He didn't just get on one knee. He bent over and coughed. He bent over and coughed and shit. And black people, you need to wake the fuck up and shit. I don't get down like that. I do my thing on my fucking platform, but Nick Cannon don't get no free rides over here. I done busted his ass a couple of times and shit over here for being a clout chaser and a bum. Alright? I'm not even talking about none of this shit. I'm not pocket watching or nothing. This motherfucker, he has no concerns in our ethnic community whatsoever and shit. He ain't caping for shit. Alright, you ain't gonna see him talking about shit. And if he do, it's just trying to get some FaceTime and shit, trying to get some street cred, which he don't deserve. He ain't never been a part of these streets. He also had a silver spoon in his fucking mouth and shit. I want to tell you, man, just go look it up. You do the history. This nigga bent over when the same situation presented itself to him not even 2 years ago. All right? If other than that, you know, if you want to be a tampon and shit for white supremacy, go right ahead and shit. I can't stop you, man. Okay? I can't stop you, but I'm not having it. Okay? Oh, no, we're not having it. You know, that's my little imitation of the M'Baku nigga from the masculine version of you know what movie. All right? Oh, no, we ain't having it down here, Nick. I'll tell you, boy, if it was my relative and I saw this motherfucker walking around by my house trying to film some shit, oh, man, he leaving with a limp. He might crawl into his car. She need to get kneecapped. All right? Metaphorically speaking, I respect the standards and practices of this platform, even though they wholesale endorse the continued emotional and otherwise terrorism of straight black men on a daily basis, 365 days a year. Learn how to read the room for anybody's ignorant enough to believe what Nick Cannon says, okay? Learn how to read the room. Don't be a fucking lemming and shit, okay? Don't be a follower. Do your due diligence and shit. Don't be, well, don't be an idiot. All right, that's all I'm really trying to say. Don't be a fucking idiot and shit, okay? I want to hammer home my point. Okay, I want to hammer home this shit like a railroad spike. Okay, I want to just beat it up with a mallet, with my John Henry mallet, and show on this patsy, this clout chasing goon, this goofy Nick Cannon. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read a few of these tweets and shit. Okay, I'm gonna read a few of these and shit. All right. Since everybody think Nick Cannon caping for Kyrie Irving and shit ain't some kind of, clout chase employee, or he was ordered to do that to muck up the situation, okay? We can't let these motherfuckers in, all right? So I'm going to read a few of these tweets, and then I'm going to get the fuck out of here. You can make your own judgment about that because, I do believe in free speech and shit, despite the hypocrisy of the colonies here. In the good old United States of America, 3Ks and set. So, here we go. Nick Cannon. First and foremost, I extend my deepest and most sincere apologies to my Jewish sisters and brothers for the hurtful and divisive words that came out of my mouth during my interviews with Richard Griffin. Alright? I'll read another one. Nick Cannon, alright? They reinforced Nick Cannon. They reinforced the worst stereotypes of a proud and magnificent people, and I feel ashamed of the uninformed and naive place that these words came from. The video of this interview had since been removed, right? He's referring to some shit he was doing on his platform. They got out of pocket, I guess, to a certain ethnic group, which will go unnamed for obvious reasons and shit. I'm going to go again. All right, here's another one. Nick Cannon. While the Jewish experience encompasses more than 5,000 years and there is so much I have yet to learn, I have had at least a minor history lesson over the past few days, and to say that it is eye-opening would be a vast understatement. Alright? I'm going to go read another one. So I'm vomiting in my mouth as I read this. I'm vomiting because people are coming out saying that Nick Cannon is caping for anyone and shit, while he's a member of the entertainment community, a staunch employee of that bitch since his childhood. Alright? I ain't throwing no shade, Nick. But you gotta keep your nose out of this one, boy. You need to go buy yourself a new turban, a bedazzled turban, and maybe go impregnate another, dumbass sister, okay? Alright. Getting back to that shit. Now, I don't apologize for that. Alright, getting back. I'm gonna read one more. Nick Cannon. I want to express my gratitude to the rabbis, community leaders, and institutions who reached out to me to help. Okay, I'm gonna reread that again. Sorry, I'm just going too fast and shit. I'm really literate and shit. I don't have any literacy problems and shit, but sometimes I go too fast. I've been reading at a high level since I was a child. So I'm gonna go again. I want to apologize for that shit. I'm going raw. I'm going raw. All right, Nick Cannon. Gonna read shit again one final time. All right, Nick Cannon. I want to express my gratitude to the rabbis, community leaders, and institutions who reached out to help enlighten me instead of chastising me. Oh man, shit. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not musically inclined, but if I could, I would play a violin while I was reading that last one. All right, and the point I'm trying to make is that no one gives a fuck about our ethnic community and shit. You don't see any of them offensive motherfuckers doing all this shit, politically and otherwise, coming down to the black community to learn about shit. They just get a coon off the rack and shit and throw him out there use it as a human shield. That goes across all platforms in all areas of life and shit. They use these coons and these patsies like Nick as a human shield to get over and shit. We got to stop letting them do that. All right?